A blunder? No, because think about it. They both, Luka, he's having a better career, of course. So he's going to go down as one of the all-time players. I get it. But a blunder is, like, say, my draft, you draft Tractor Trailer, got drafted.
Stop.
No, he got drafted by Milwaukee, by the Mavs, and you traded him for Dirk. That was a blunder.
Okay.
When you draft Sam Bowie and not draft Jordan, that's a blunder.
Okay.
Like, this is not a blunder. I mean, neither one of us won a championship. Yeah, it happens every year. You're going to draft a player that's going to be ahead of another player that you probably could have drafted. Say, for instance, Steph Curry was there at the 7th pick. That's a blunder. That right there, that's a blunder.
We took Ball instead of Tatum.
You took Ball. That's a blunder. You know, the Lakers got a history of blunders.
Shut up.
You could have took Brown, but who they take instead of Brown the year before?
Which Brown? Not Kwame Brown.
No, Jaylen Brown.
Brown.
Oh, Jaylen.
Ingram. You took Ingram instead of Brown. Yeah. Those are blunders.
Well, Ingram.
Not Ingram became an all-star. That's not really a blunder. But
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those are blunders. Like he's going to be an all-time great, but you still got an all-star player. You still got a guy who's giving you 25 plus, 9, 10 assists. You know, he's not a bust. You know, like when you get a player that's just head and shoulders above the player you could have gotten, traded him, then you feel a different type of way. But not with Trae Young.
No, I don't think it's a blunder, Skip. Well, number one, let's look at the foundation. The foundation starts with the organization, right? Which one, to you, is a better organization? You would say the Dallas Mavs are a better organization to the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah. Atlanta Hawks have been through some stuff, right? It's just better stuff. They both have won. Luka, he helped get his team to the championship this year. And I say help because Kyrie was a piece that got them over the hump to bring Luka along. So I ain't going to just give all the credit to Luka. Trae Young has yet, but they both been to conference finals, both been to all-star games. Then when you start getting into the numbers, and I understand accolades, I get it. From an accolade standpoint, he's made some all-NBA teams and all that sort of stuff. But when you look at the numbers, they both averaging over 25 points a game. They both average over 8 assists a game.
Yeah.
They both shooting around 35, 36% from three. Just different. One's bigger than the other. But the organization, if Luka goes to Atlanta, what are we looking at? They done been through multiple head coaches. Luka's had 2. Trae Young done had probably, 3 now? 3 or 4 head coaches? They just done been through it. Remember, McMillan was assistant and then got kicked up. I forgot who he replaced. And then...
Pierce, I believe.
Yeah, he replaced. So, Lloyd Daniels.
Lloyd Pierce.
So, you start to look at multiple coaches. So, that organization is all kind of Louis scratchy around.
Yeah.
Solid organization in Dallas with Mark Cuban and company. So, it's one of those deals where you should, more so longevity-wise, who you think will last longer. That's the question. Based on body, based on size, those sorts of things is what I would look at, opposed to was it a blunder? Different situations.
Okay. I hear you about the numbers because if you just straight compare the numbers...
It's the same. It's a wash.
They're comparable.
Yeah.
It's a wash.
But if I go eye test, it's a blunder. It's just a blunder. When I look at Luka and then I look at Trae and I look at Luka and I look at Trae, I say, I'm sorry. It was a big swing and a miss by the Atlanta Hawks. He's just too good in so many ways. He impacts everything you do because he is 6'7". And again, we go back and forth about how tall Trae is. You've seen him up close and personal.
He seems taller.
You think he's 6'2".
Yeah, I do.
And I think he's 6 feet. And I don't know, he's probably 6'1", somewhere in the ballpark. But he ain't 6'7". Like this man is a full 6 feet 7 inches
he's really tall.
Luka is really tall.
For sure.
And Luka packs a wallop because I always think he looks out of shape, but it works because he can throw his weight around in the lane and he can bump people off him and score it at will in the paint. And again, I've never been the biggest fan of Luka, but he did improve his shot until the finals. And then he goes 3 for his last 24 from 3, and it won you a championship. If he'd made 10 out of those 24, we might be having a different conversation because it might have gone 6 or 7 games. But it didn't.
I still got on that duck boat.
You got on the duck boat. But to me, there was all this talk at the time about Atlanta with its black population, obviously a black center, a hub, needed a black star, and Trey is fun to watch.
Yeah.
It just doesn't translate that often into winning basketball games because it's high turnover. He's led the league in turnovers since he entered the league, but Luka is second in turnovers, so he's high turnovers too. I got it.
There's another thing that's the
I
same.
got it. But Trey is high turnovers, poor three-point shooting for the most part. Luka can be too, but Luka just score it like crazy.
Think about what you just said.
Yeah,
You're trying to cover it. You're trying to cover it up. You're trying to cover it up by saying he can score.
He can score.
He can score too.
They both
high turnovers. They both got lousy three-pointers.
They both get exposed on defense.
Yes.
So if neither one of them end up winning the championship, it's not a blunder.
I know, but I'll take Luka on defense any night.
Over Trey Young. What's the difference? What's the difference?
Luka's 6'7".
But he's still old Land letting guy here. Man, you go right by me.
El Matador.
Go right here.
Yeah.
Old Land.
Hey,
It don't matter.
listen, Trey is the all-time
But
liability.
And Luka's not.
Yeah.
But
well,
again, though, Skip, it's all about, at the time, what is it that Atlanta was looking for?
Yeah.
You said it. You mentioned it.
They were.
They looking for a certain type of guy, cultural, that would fit. It just all of those sort of
he's
things.
box office, man.
And so you got to factor all that into it.
Yeah.
They probably wanted to run a different style offense. You got what Rick Carlisle wanted to do in Dallas. So it's just, I don't think it's a blunder on either side. Yeah, I think it worked out for both teams. It'll be interesting to see if they had Luka drafted a European. Now they just drafted another European.
Trey Young had a run. He had a run to the conference
Real
finals.
quick on the point you just
My
made.
man Mark Ravner told me that last night. He goes, they just took another European. I wonder how that's going to work in Atlanta.
Well, seriously. I mean, that's my first thought when they did it. I'm like, okay. And then I saw the note this morning, and I don't know Risacher's game at all, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But I saw a note that just a year ago in the FIBA championships for the under-19s, he played in the championship game with Sarr on the team, and Risacher scored 0 points in the championship game just last July, I think it was. So it's less than a year ago. I don't know. And it seemed to me like, what's wrong with Sarr? Because you met him, I think.
Yeah, I had a chance to meet him.
He's 7'1", and they say Risacher at 6'8"-ish, I think, is the classic wing, length.
Didn't they have somebody that was a European in Atlanta that balled? I'm trying to think who it was. That was a baller.
No.
I don't know.
It'll come to my mind.
Yeah.
Bogdanovich.
Was that it? Is that who I thought?
Yeah, he used to play there.
Maybe that's who it is then. I just remember.
Yeah,
Was it Gallinari?
He played in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It was one of the.
Gallinari
It was a Euro they had that was a baller to me.
Gallinari played there.
All right. But I think right now, if you had it to do over, you would take Luka. I just think you would.
I don't think it's no different.
You really don't.
I don't.
What am I trying to do?
I think, all right, so look, Luka, you can win a championship, I believe, if you put the right pieces around.
And that's what they tried to do.
Yeah, that's how I feel the
they
same
got
way
there.
about Trey.
Okay, what would happen in Dallas this year if it had been Trey and Kyrie in the backcourt?
But they would never do that. But you're never gonna do that. They got just DeJounte Murray and Trey in the backcourt now.
Okay.
So you just would never do that.
And I don't know why they would put DeJounte on the trading block, because to me, he's a much better.
I think both of them could be.
I know, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
But to me, DeJounte is a much better all-around basketball player because he led the league in steals.
Yeah, he can guard multiple positions.
Yeah.
Play on or off the ball.
Kyrie in the backcourt. with
That'd be a trip, man. Right? Trip to
that would not
the
work.
bottom, right? Okay, up next, we got to talk about this. Memphis GM Zach Kleiman raved about landing Zach Edey last night.
So did Keyshawn.
After Woj reported Kleiman tried and failed to trade up to take Donovan Clingan. We debate.